Everything that she gave me was that.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners meeting for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. I am Chair of the Board, Rick Vest, and to my left is Commissioner Matt Schulte. To my right is Commissioner Sean Flowerday. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, please begin the meeting.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting held on November 25th, 2025.
I move approval of the minutes.
Second. Motion and second to approve the minutes. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2, claims. 2A, approval of the claims processed through November 26, 2025. And I'll note there is an amendment with payroll.
I move approval of the claims, including payroll disbursements through November 26, 2025.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the claims, including payroll. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. 2B, approval of claims for goods and services beyond the 90-day time period provided in Nebraska Revised Statute 23-135 for Omaha Truck Center Incorporated, dated December 1st, 2025, for a total of $201.25, and the University of Nebraska, dated December 1, 2025, for a total of $4,112.65.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve item 2B, 1 and 2. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 3, consent items. These are routine business items that are expected to be adopted without dissent. Any individual item may be removed for special discussion and consideration by a commissioner by any member of the public without prior notice. Unless there is an exception, these items will be approved as one single vote of the Board of Commissioners. These items are the approval of A, right-of-way contracts with the following: Ralph and Sarah Living Trust, North 40th Street and Ashland Road, in the amount of $355. Douglas Yannick Living Trust, South 162nd Street and South 176th Street, in the amount of $2,225. Ivan and Susan Bruss, South 162nd Street and South 176th Street, in the amount of $4,060. Kyle and Elizabeth Bruss, South 162nd Street and South 176th Street, in the amount of $1,390. And 3B, change order 1 to county contract C-25-0467 with Van Kirk Brothers Contracting to extend the project to February 1st, 2026.
I move approval of the consent items.
Second.
Motion and second to approve the consent items. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4 is our public hearing on the application for a Class I liquor license for Ball Vineyard and Estates LLC, doing business as Capital View Winery and Vineyards.
We'll now open the public hearing. Are there members of staff that wish to speak on this?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Please state your name and go ahead.
Ben Callahan with Planning and Development Services, 555 South 10th Street. Good morning. I just want to give a little background on, so currently this location with the request is outside of city limits, but within the 3 miles jurisdiction of Lincoln. So it does operate under a special permit for a farm winery. Within the city's provisions, within the municipal code, it specifically allows for on-site alcohol consumption, but it does call out that it has to be wine produced on the site, so it couldn't be purchased or outside of wine couldn't be purchased from a distributor and then sold for on-site. So that is the reason we're recommending denial of this license at this time until what would need to happen would be a approved text amendment to the municipal code to update these provisions before that could be recommended for approval.
Sorry, explain it to me again.
So currently, it's under the special permit provision.
Sure.
And then within those provisions, how it's stated in the code today is that it only allows for on-site consumption if the wine is produced on-site. So it does limit it just to that option.
And they are looking to do both? Or?
Correct, yeah. So what they're requesting with the Class I would allow for on-site of any alcohol, so whether it was produced on-site or was purchased outside of the site and sold. So
Still be limited to wine and beer, or would it be?
it wouldn't be with the Class I. With the state would not limit it to just wine. It would be all alcohol on-site consumption.
Okay.
We allow, how is that different than what our county regulation is?
So I was looking with the county, so with the farm winery, they can have an accessory, so it does allow for like microbrewery or micro distillery, an accessory to the farm winery special permit. But I believe in there as well, it has to be beer or spirits produced on site as well. So it is similar in that it does have to be on site and then on site consumption.
So this application is out of compliance with both the state regs and our own?
Correct, yeah, it would not match either county or city.
It would match county or city, but the state would allow it. Is that?
Well, this,
Because Sean just asked
Yeah, does
state,
it
and you
state?
said county or city.
The liquor, the state liquor.
It's out of compliance with state regulations as well as our own.
it wouldn't be out of compliance with the state regulations. It would just be with the city, with how they operate on.
The city doesn't matter here. What are they just out of compliance with the county regulations, or are they out of compliance with the county and the state regulations?
I believe it'd just be county, and I don't think it'd be, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're.
So we
Not
would
trying
have
to
to
give you a
do
hard
a,
time.
we would have to do a text amendment to allow it.
Steve Hendrickson.
Well, you have to be sworn in.
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Steve Hendrickson, Planning and Development Services. So the city zoning jurisdiction is the only zoning jurisdiction that applies here, and it does not conform with the city's zoning jurisdiction. Since it's not in the county's zoning jurisdiction, the county regulations don't really apply. What Ben was noting was
In the 3 mile of the city.
it's in the 3 mile.
But we're
Ben
the
was-
approving body?
Well, you're making the recommendation on the license to the state. I understand it from the state does ask, are you in compliance with the local regulations? And the answer here would be no, you're not in compliance with the city's zoning jurisdiction. So our recommendation is to you, is that you recommend to the state denial of this license for the fact that it does not comply with the local zoning jurisdiction,
Which is the
which in this
city.
case is actually the city's jurisdiction.
Why isn't this in front of the...
Right,
Because outside of the city limits, basically, you're the body that makes all the recommendations on liquor licenses. And John Ward can back that up on that part of it.
That's where the text amendment needs cleaning up.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. John Ward with the Lancaster County Attorney's Office. I would note that the relevant statute in the liquor chapter says that the governing body within the limits of a city municipality only will make recommendations to the Liquor Commission. So anything outside the city's corporate limits, we recommend, even though their 3 mile zoning jurisdiction extends to this establishment and would cover it. So it would be city zoning. We would still make the recommendations because it's outside the corporate limits, in the 3 mile, but outside the corporate limits.
That's where we need the regulatory fix. That's where this process is. Like, we shouldn't be denying, I mean, it's fine, like, we'll do it today, but like, we shouldn't be denying something if it's not our own regulations that we're
Right.
denying it based on.
Yeah, in
That should be the
past,
city council, because we can't, say I wanted to do a text amendment tomorrow, and I can't do a text amendment to
Right.
fix, I mean, I guess I could, but like, I guess
It
any,
would.
any citizen can, but like,
Yeah.
but like, we're not the body that regulates this, so
we've got mismatched standards.
Yeah.
Is
Right,
what
right.
the short version is, the zoning regulations give the city authority 3 miles past its corporate limits. The Liquor Commission does not recognize any city authority beyond its corporate limits. So we're caught in this twilight zone of government entities that it sounds like. So the bottom line, we have to make a recommendation to the Liquor Commission based on this application that is in the city's 3-mile jurisdiction, but the application does not match the city's liquor standards.
Correct. We're saying that because it does not comply with the city's zoning regulations, that you recommend denial to the State Liquor Commission. We are open to sitting down and seeing if we can do a text amendment to the city's zoning jurisdiction that would allow accessory sales of alcohol. But unfortunately, there's no guarantee that that would be approved by the city council. We need to have a planning commission public hearing. And unfortunately, also the time frame is such that you have a timeline, a deadline to give a recommendation to the state, and your deadline is before we would have any chance for the city council to take action. Because the quickest they could take action now would be probably sometime in February, and that's beyond your 45-day deadline. So we explained this to Lorenzo Ball, that unfortunately the time frame doesn't match up either in terms of making that amendment.
And this is a slightly different conversation than anything we've had in the past. Steve, am I accurate on that? In that always before on these, it has been alcohol, wine or beer that is produced on site. And so
Correct.
this is a different kind of entity.
And that's what Ben was pointing out, is that let's say this was in the county's zoning jurisdiction. That talks about a microbrewery on site and a microdistillery on site versus Mr. Ball is asking to buy spirits from other places, not necessarily those made on site.
Yeah.
And that the challenge, I would just say, rather in the city or the county jurisdiction, is, what is that line between when somebody crosses from a winery to just operating a bar?
Yeah.
And that's been a concern, because that's happened in the past where a winery actually stopped functioning as a winery, and what they do instead just sell spirits, period.
Okay. Well, that's a longer discussion that we don't
Yeah.
actually need to resolve today
Right.
from what we're hearing. This again, counties operate under state statutes. The state determines the rules we operate by. And what I'm hearing from the three of you is that state statutes indicate we cannot recommend this and be in compliance with the law.
As I view it, is what you're finding is a fact. The fact is that the county board finds that it does not comply with the city's zoning jurisdiction, and thus you're passing along, our recommendation is, you recommend denial because it doesn't conform with the city's zoning regulations.
Can we make sure that's all in the letter that we send to the
Yes,
liquor?
yes, that, I can update that last minute. That'll be in there.
Can we add a paragraph explaining that we don't actually think we should have any say in this whatsoever?
I
It
recommend
doesn't actually
that
involve us in any way.
We can correspond separately.
And
on
that
piece.
clearly this needs to be changed, but yes, I guess looking at it, it says that, yeah, fine, they're out of compliance with the city, which isn't ours to enforce, but whatever.
Any questions for staff? Ben, you got it, or this one? And Steve set you up on the most complicated one we've had for a while.
And I should note, Ben is handling all of our alcohol items for the Lancaster County Planning and Development Services Department, so that is why he's here today.
Yeah, I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I was trying to parse my way through that, and it wasn't coming easily.
Very good. All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on this issue this morning? Sir, please come forward.
Good morning.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you sign in and state your name?
Lorenzo Ball. Do I need to give my address as well? Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. So I'm glad you asked the questions because it wasn't clear to me either.
Right.
Going into applying for the application, unbeknownst to me, the special permit needed to be changed because of the explicit language within the special permit that said only wine made at the winery and the property can be sold. I do know from a state perspective, there are other wineries that do sell beer as an accessory from a state, but not necessarily outside of the county. So the precedent is there, it's just not here. So I am trying to work with the planning department to get that figured out. One clarification point is that we're looking to serve as an accessory for our events or beer, not necessarily spirits explicitly, but just have some alternative options for our customer. But the wine will be the primary beverage at Capitol View Winery. So that's the reason for the permit. But looking to work with the city to help get this clarified wherever possible. I don't know if I need to go to the Liquor Commission as well, but hopefully I can get that figured out and get some clear lines of what needs to be done to make this move forward. But right now, it's just unfortunately not there. It's a little difficult to see.
Sounds to me, and I'm counting on staff to nod if I'm getting this right, you need to do a text amendment with the city side to get their regulations changed, so that way we can tell the Liquor Commission, yes, that you are in compliance with all local regulations. Because the question is local, not county, right? Because he's in compliance with county regs. We don't regulate that area. It's not ours. Yeah, I would argue it's not ours to regulate. So therefore, there's no issue on our end. The issue is the, and I understand if he was in the county, then he wouldn't be in compliance. But that's not ours. So I think you need to do a city planning text amendment so that we can then tell the Liquor Commission, boy, this is a government netherworld, and I am sorry to explain it this way. You need to do a city text amendment so that then we can tell the Liquor Commission, yes, you're in compliance with all local regulations. And that's not a great answer, but I think that's where you're at. I'm sorry.
And then just procedurally, if this is denied here, a reapplication for a license will be required once that text amendment is done. But this doesn't have any precedent. This decision doesn't have any precedent over that reapplication. Is that correct?
New application would be a new consideration.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And I'm quite certain that this body would be perfectly happy to tell the Liquor Commission you're in compliance with all local regulations if the city side did the text amendment to make it right. I don't think anyone has a problem with you operating a winery and you're just trapped in a bureaucratic labyrinth, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you all.
Well, Mr. Ball, thank you for being here this morning, and thank you for doing this. These kind of facilities make our community a more attractive place and more fun place
Absolutely.
to be. So
Yes, appreciate that. Thank you.
have a good one. Any other members of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Commissioners, that brings us to the public hearing action items. So 5A, action on the resolution in the matter of the Class I liquor license for Ball Vineyard Estates LLC, doing business as Capitol View Winery and Vineyards.
With regret and some confusion, I would make the motion that we recommend denial to the Liquor Commission because this application is not in compliance with all local, note I don't say county, all local regulations.
I will second that.
I think that covers it. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Commissioners, that brings us to item 6, new business. Item 6A, resolution to approve conversion of the county's revenue refunding bonds, Series 2024B to tax exempt status, delegating and designating the county's bank qualification status for the 2025 for the Series 2024B bonds, and making certain representations and connections with such designation, and authorizing execution delivery of certain documents and approving related matters.
Well,
I'm
you're not
sorry.
a public hearing, so you don't
don't
need
need
to
me
be
to
sworn
swear
in,
in.
but you
Okay.
do need to introduce yourself.
I will do that, no problem. My name is Colleen Duncan. I'm a partner at Gilmore and Bell. We are the county's bond counsel. This relates to a bond issue that the county issued last year. If you recall, we issued 15 million of debt, 10 million of tax exempt bank qualified, and I'll talk about what that is in a moment, and then 5 million of taxable, hoping that we could utilize the county's bank qualification for this year with that taxable and convert it to tax exempt. And that's what we're here to ask you to delegate to Tabitha for this 5 million of bonds that's already issued. So we would convert the bonds tax status from taxable to tax exempt bank qualified. So why are we here in December instead of January? It's because each governmental entity in the US only gets 10 million of bank qualification per year. And so we wait until the end of the year to do this to make sure that the county doesn't need it for any of its governmental purposes. And so we've talked with Dennis Meyer and the administrative team about that, and the county doesn't need it for 2025. So we're asking the county to delegate that to Tabitha again this year for that 5 million. So this is a minimal paper transaction, basically, because the bonds are already outstanding, just to convert the interest to tax exempt. The bank qualified is a benefit for banks who purchase tax exempt bonds. It's a subset of tax exempt bonds. So these bonds are held by a bank, and so they get a special benefit, which of course means a lower borrowing rate for Tabitha. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
I'd move approval.
Second.
I'll just make a little comment. My family had the chance to tour the facility. My wife and mother-in-law were looking for an opportunity, and so they've had the chance to visit the building and have lots of positive things to say about it. So
Thank you.
Motion and second to approve. The first time we did this was really an education because we're signing on, but we're not
Correct.
exactly engaged either. So it's a win for everybody because the community benefits in a big way, but there's not a responsibility placed on the taxpayers of Lancaster County, just to clarify that.
Absolutely, under the statute, and this is a common financing tool across the U.S. for nonprofit entities. But yes, under the statute, the county cannot be responsible for any of the debt or anything really on bonds.
Right, yeah, thank you. Motion and second to approve, please call the roll.
Schulte,
yes,
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
6B, agreement with Devoted Health Incorporated for the Mental Health Crisis Center to become an in-network provider for Devoted Health's Medicare Advantage plans.
Good morning, Scott Etherton with the Mental Health Crisis Center. This is a new company that was coming into the marketplace, and we're just contracting with them to, so if anyone has coverage with them, we can potentially bill under them. So that's, any questions?
like a good thing to open it up to more people, potential people. So.
Yep, we do. And I have a couple, one or two more that'll be coming up for re-credentialing also that we just may need a signature and such too, so yeah.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve, please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6C, an interlocal agreement to join Southeast Nebraska Development District SEND. The agreement replaces the previous interlocal agreement under County Contract C-20-0267 and allows SEND to acquire, hold, and dispose of real and personal property.
The county attorney's office contacted me about this. This motion needs to be made in a certain way. So I'm going to make a motion that we approve this item on condition that SEND adopt the bylaws that they are currently considering right now. And then once they do, then it would come back to the chair for it to be signed after the fact. So.
Second.
Yeah, the purpose of this motion is to make sure that SEND incorporates its bylaws into the interlocal. Correct. Okay, real good. Motion and second. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6D, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award and execute a purchase order to Husker Steel Incorporated for sheet piling in the amount of $39,360.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is our annual supply of sheet piling that we use for the projects that we construct internally. And so you may notice us buying more of these types of items as our grading and bridge crew has become more experienced. And so we're super excited to have the ability to do this construction ourselves.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6E, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award and execute a purchase order to Ace Eden Metals for the 2025 fall culverts in the amount of $72,087.20.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. This is our fall culvert order. And again, these are culvert pipes that we will be installing ourselves with county forces. And we're excited to bring this forward.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6F, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award a contract to Midwest Petroleum Equipment for 2 Gas Boy Atlas unleaded dispensers in the amount of $23,592.71.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. We've talked a lot about the modernization of our gas system the last several years. We really felt that we had gotten across the finish line with a new pedestal that has the ability to sense which vehicle you're putting gas in and how much mileage it has. And about the time we were able to get that implemented, that windstorm came up and we had some damage to the pumps. The pumps are old enough that they're not repairable. And so this is an item that has not been in our budget. We will have to make adjustments at other places in the budget to accommodate for this purchase.
I'd move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6G, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award a contract to General Excavating for the repair of County Bridge K-144 in the amount of $218,268.42.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. So Bridge K-144 is the bridge that is by the event center. It's interesting. I believe it is in Lancaster County's jurisdiction by 25 feet, maybe? Maybe? It would appear as though a parcel property line was adjusted for that to happen. That being said, this bridge is in dramatic need of repair, in particular to the deck. And so we're recommending to go forward with General Excavating. They were under the engineer's estimate for this bridge. We haven't worked with them in a while, but they are well known and on NDOT's approved bidders list. And so we're excited to have the opportunity to do this with them.
25 feet. And I know the event center has been in contact with you and appreciate you all's efforts to take care of this because, you know, next year's the rodeo's coming again. So they've reached out to me and said that they appreciate you all's efforts to get this taken care of.
I appreciate you bringing that up, Commissioner. In particular, we did write into the contract that the work has to be complete prior to the high school rodeo.
Excellent.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 6H, recommendation from the purchasing agent on behalf of the county engineer to award a bid to Executive Answering Service for telephone answering services for an estimated amount of $5,000 over 4 years.
Pam Dingman, Lancaster County Engineer. You may or may not realize that if you call the county engineering main number any time of the day or night, the phone is answered. In particular, we have concerns if a citizen sees a stop sign down in the night. What we wanted to do, and we started doing this several years ago, is make a real effort to focus those calls to the answering service, who can contact the manager, the operations manager, who is on rotation that week, because we were trying to pull those calls away from 911. And 911, by the time we got through several people, it just took too long to address some of the issues that happened to our roads and bridges after hours. And so we're bringing forward this contract again in order to be more efficient.
Pretty efficient. $5,000 for 4 years. I'd move approval of that.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Schulte,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries. Commissioners, brings us to item 7, public comment.
Any members of the public wishing to speak on items related to county business not on the agenda, please come forward.
Good morning. Wanted to bring you up to date on some things going on in the Assessor Register of Deeds office. On Monday, we will have our homestead exemption team and our Register of Deeds team will be at 500 West O in the old driver's license facility. With the construction going on in the north parking lot, we've had some concerns with folks that utilize those services that aren't familiar with downtown, finding a garage, taking the bus, and so forth. So appreciate the help the staff has done to make this work, Karen Peterson and her crew and information services. So we're really hopeful that this will make it much more convenient during construction for the people that utilize those services.
Appreciate you coming forward, Dan, and making this aware. What's the, and I know we're not supposed to, but what's the purpose of this, what you're going to be doing out on West O? Tell us a little more about that.
As you know, we file homestead exemptions. Oftentimes people come in wanting assistance, needing assistance. Many people aren't familiar with downtown, and so to expect somebody to find a garage, get on a bus, and come see us, I think would be very inconvenient and maybe even a hardship. On the Register of Deeds side, again, we have some people that are in frequently, attorneys and so forth, and some that are just occasional. And so we really want to make it easier for them. Out on West, so it's great. There's no streets to cross, no steps or anything. And so we're really hopeful that we can get people directed out there, so.
And the other thing on this homestead exemption, you know, this is really an important thing for people living in their own homes. And if they have maybe they don't know if they qualify.
Right.
But this would be a time for them to check with experts.
They can always call in, but some people prefer to come in. And we see the same people year after year. There's certain staff people they want to work with, and we really want to make it as easy for them as we possibly can. So,
Absolutely. This is a big
yeah.
deal.
So help us get the word out.
Okay.
So, thank you.
For being here. Any other members of the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll close public comment.
Item 8, announcements. The Board of Commissioners will hold a staff meeting on Thursday, December 4th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. The Board of Commissioners will hold the following meetings on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in room 112 of the County City Building. Board of Commissioners and a special staff. Commissioners can be reached at 402-441-7447 or commish@lancaster.ne.gov. Board of Commissioners meetings are streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. LNK TV apps are available in Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Item 9 is adjournment.
We adjourn.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Schulte,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Best.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are adjourned. We'll now open the Lancaster County Board of Equalization meeting for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. Please open the meeting, Mr.
Copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is located at the wall of the rear of the hearing room. All written materials to be discussed at today's meeting can be viewed at the county's website at lancaster.ne.gov. Printing options are available upon request. Brings us to item 1, minutes. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Equalization meeting held on Tuesday, November 18th, 2025.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is the additions and deductions to the tax assessment rolls.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is our public hearing for the 2025 451 tax exemptions on real and personal property application.
I will now open the public hearing.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Jacob Van Pelt, Lancaster County Assessor, Register of Deeds Office. The application we're here to discuss is a transfer from a previously exempt party to what we hope will be an exempt party in the future. This parcel was previously owned by the Heartland Church Network and sold to the Karen Christian Revival Church on September 5th. The administrative code states that an exempt entity purchases a property that was exempt from taxes between July 1st and the levy date, and the property continues to qualify. The purchaser may make an application on or before November 15th. The sale occurred on September 5th, 2025, which qualifies. The application was submitted to us on November 14th, 2025, which qualifies. After review of everything they provided, that is our recommendation to continue the exemption for the new entity.
To continue the exemption.
Yeah. Well, we had on October the 7th.
It's exempt with the old entity.
Yes.
You're saying keep it exempt because it's gone to a new entity that's also exempt.
Correct, yeah. So I had come to the board on October the 7th to remove the exemption, as we typically do, from the sale, but was exempt previously. That is our recommendation to make it exempt again, so.
So,
We meant what you knew.
say that again.
I said we meant what you knew.
So the motion's going to be that we allow this property to be exempt.
Correct.
Because it's currently not.
Yeah, it was when it sold, then we had to remove it due to the
So we have
the
to
entity
restore
change.
it.
Yeah, so we have to restore this, sir.
Okay. Very good. Oh, excuse me. Anyone else wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, we'll move on.
The next public hearing is the public hearing on the following motor vehicle tax exemption applications: Great Plains Community Church, Sheridan Lutheran Church, Outline Incorporated doing business as Out Nebraska, St. Mark's United Methodist Church, Christian Heritage Children's Home, Grace Lutheran Church, Mosaic, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Nebraska Incorporated, Youth for Christ Lincoln Area, the F Street Neighborhood Church, and Cristo Rey Catholic Church of Lincoln.
Anyone wishing to speak on these motor vehicle tax exemption applications? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing.
Commissioners, that brings us to the public hearing action items. 5A, action on the recommendation of the 2025 451 tax exemption on real and personal property.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. 5B, the motor vehicle tax exemption applications.
I move approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Please call the roll.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Yocum,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries. Brings us to item 6, which is public comment.
Any members of the public wishing to speak on items relating to the County Board of Equalization, not business, not on the agenda, please come forward. Any members of the public? Seeing none, we'll close public comment.
Item 7 is adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. Please call the roll.
Yocum,
Yes.
Flowerday,
Yes.
Vest.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.